I just wanted, this is my mini sermon for the morning. Y'all have heard about the tornadoes we had this last week, had here in Moore, Oklahoma. Have any of y'all lived through a tornado? Nobody? Yeah, in 1979, I am from Wichita, and in 1979 we had a tornado that wiped about half the town. And I heard, and this is kind of what brings me to this, I heard a guy on the TV say, that he felt sorry for those people who had lost their homes because they must be the saddest people of all because they've lost everything they have. And I want to say, well, okay, it is sad to lose things that pictures and memories of things. But if you've lost a loved one, then, those things that you lose are not as important. And one of the things I remember the most, because we did not lose our home. My sister lost her home. I had several friends that lost their homes. But you know what? They decided that things weren't that important because they were alive, their family was alive, and God was still there. And I can remember driving, through some of the areas that were hit so hard, and people putting up, big signs and saying, "We're all alive." God spared our family. And that's what was important to them, not their things anymore, but that God spared them and their family. And to me that says a lot, and it says to me a lot about what this guy thought was important was things and not people. And it just, I don't know, just kind of made me go back and think about that and how we get too attached to things. And when we go to heaven, we're not going to have those things with us, are we? And we're not going to care. We're going to be so happy where we are, and we won't even think about those things, will we? So anyway, that's my story. Okay, now the real preacher's coming.
I thought you did a pretty good job.
Everyone here knows that because you've gotten rid of a lot of things. That's not here. So you've been through that process of giving those things that really mean a lot to you. That you and people who have done that in coping, that they feel kind of liberated, that they don't have all that stuff to take care of and tend to all the time.
Yeah, things can always be replaced, but people can't. So you really are appreciative.
And all the things we've got that we don't need to use. It's the easiest way to clean out.
You see those hoarders, that's all the best thing that happens to them, right? They got their house clean, not necessarily not the way they wanted to. But yeah, we do, pray for people in Moore, Oklahoma. They went through quite an ordeal up there. They said that tornado was 1 mile wide.
Well, the one in Wichita Falls was 4 that came together, and when it sat down, it was 1, and it stayed on the ground like through 8 miles of town, and it was already on the ground.
Wow. So I can't even imagine what that's like to go through something like that. And I guess there's some other towns too. Was it Cleburne and Cranberry? Yeah. So there's plenty of people around that. There are plenty of locations around that have really gone through a lot this time. And so y'all pray for them. And we've had our little storms here, haven't we? We've had quite a lot of rain and some lightning storms. I guess there was some hail all around us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think we got hit with hail really. But there's a lot of people around who got hit with hail. And I guess one was like baseball size hail. There again, you have baseball size hail, you're gonna have nature companies come out and fix it really because it's maybe windshield or something. When those things happen, there's some serious damage that happens. You think about, I was watching the news and they said that the weather, our official weather, they said that this year there would be more hurricanes than ever. They were saying that more than last year, more than they could have reported. So they're expecting it. Now, maybe not all of them will hit landfall, but they're saying that they're expecting, 1 or 2 to hit the the New England area again, and that's just right after Sandy, I guess, and knocked out all of New Jersey and parts of New York and all that.
Still, a lot of it's not finished yet.
Yeah, so they're not going to be too happy about that, so y'all be praying for that too. There's a lot of crazy weather, that's happening. It seems like the closer we get to Jesus' return, it seems like we have more and more weird things that are happening like that. So we really need to pray for people and be caring and loving for people. Let's go Lord in prayer, and let's remember all the veterans and the veterans' spouses and families that have lost loved ones in some of these wars, and as we go to Lord in prayer also. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for your love and your kindness. We thank you for all the veterans that have given the ultimate sacrifice, that have also have served for this great country. And we pray, Father, for the families of those that have lost loved ones. We know, Father, that you have a special place for these people, and we know that you care about these families, and you love each one. We pray, Father, you just give them peace and passes understanding. And just thank you for the protection that you give our country. We know, Father, that maybe not everyone in this country is a Christian, but we do know, Father, that you have a special place in your heart for this country since we are such a Christian nation. We pray, Father, you just help us to be the kind of Christians that live uprightly, that we might glorify your name in a special way. Just thank you so much for Jesus that gave his life for our sins, that we might have that atoning sacrifice and be saved. We just pray, Father, you go with us now as we study according to your word, and just give us a discerning heart to hear your holy word. Praise things in the name of Jesus. Amen. Yeah, we definitely, these storms are something else. You ever seen like a dog whenever there's like a lightning storm outside, thunder and lightning? You ever seen like a dog? They just go right under the couch. They go right under the couch, and you think a dog, big horse dog, not the little idiot dogs, but the big horse dogs, and they're not scared of anything. But when you have a lightning storm, they're babies. They are little babies, aren't they? They don't cry. You've seen that, haven't you? And sometimes, you look at some of these things and you say, how is that possible that somebody a dog that's that brave can be that scared? Some of these storms, when you see some of these storms coming, like these hurricanes that come to shore, some people are very scared, and the smart ones, they get out of town, don't they? And you see those highways, they're just loaded with cars, right? And they're trying to get out of there. And then you got the people that aren't so smart, and what do? They stay in their house and they, this is nothing. Okay, maybe they change their mind and a lot of people in Oklahoma, you saw they ran, A lot of them got down in their basements. They had shelters made, and everybody did because it wasn't. They came out from the shelters. Remember, all that was going on. All they had was a foundation. Is that amazing? They have nothing. It was just all this white. They showed TV on news. They showed some neighborhoods, and all you could see was like grass, debris, and foundations. There was no houses. People would drive up and down the street trying to figure out which house was theirs because, how do you know where your house is? Because, there's no numbers. There's no numbers. It's just, it's gone. And you think about, these storms are just one time, when I was a child, we drove to Oklahoma, and we were driving, and it was raining and thunder and lightning, and we were just driving, and just, you couldn't go at 5 miles an hour because it was so bad, And all of a sudden, it was just clear blue skies. It was the weirdest thing. And you look behind, you can see this wall of water, still coming down. We had just crossed over that line to where it was, from storm to calm, right? And so we drove for about, a couple of minutes. All of a sudden, storm again. And there again, 5 We had gone, I don't think this was a hurricane, but we had gone through like the eye of the storm. It was the weirdest thing. And I don't know if you ever experienced something like that. You go into that area, and it was just like nothing had happened. It was just calm as could be, birds are chirping, you see the clouds, it's beautiful, sun's saying? They say hurricanes are like that. Hurricanes, they have these huge hurricanes, okay, out in the ocean, and in the middle, there's like a couple of miles of complete calm. And that's what's called the eye of the storm, right? They have the eye of the storm. They actually have airplanes that fly and hover and go down in there for doing scientific studies and things like that. But they actually go and check out the eye of the storm. And then all around it, it's going around hundreds of miles an hour. Okay? Like what they say, the first hurricane category 1 is like where it starts at like 75 mile per hour winds or 100 mile per hour winds. And then it goes up from there. And then you get to like category 4 hurricanes that are, what is that? 200 or 300 miles an hour? I think they caught the fastest hurricane is being what, 300 or something miles an hour. That's amazing to think that wind can go 300 miles an hour. If you got caught something like that, you would not be able to stand up. I'm sorry, if you see those cows that get caught up into the hurricanes, they go flying. You ever seen a flying cow? It's utter destruction. Okay. All right. That was kind of my jokes kind of falls out like that. It's all right. But you've seen some of those things where those storms are just so bad. They just go there. And when you have somebody that goes through these kind of storms, you think of family and friends, and you think of loved ones. You pray for those people, right? You want to be caring about those kind of people. Let's turn to Mark chapter 4. Mark chapter 4. And we'll read verses 35 through 41. Mark chapter 4. Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. Mark chapter 4. We're going to find out about Jesus that was in the storm. Can you believe he was asleep? Can you believe that? Okay. Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. It says, that day when evening came, he said to his disciples, let us go over to the other side. Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said, Teacher, don't you care if we drown? He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, Quiet, be still. Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? They were terrified and asked each other, Who is this? And even the wind and waves obey him. This Jesus fellow, he's not special. Okay, so they go, they're I guess it's the Sea of Galilee, and they're going across the sea there, and he says, let's go on the boat. Okay, and it wasn't just that one boat, there were several boats that all went across, okay? And as they were going, this storm came up, okay? And Jesus was asleep. How is that possible? You think about all this lightning and thunder, and everybody is scared to death, and the water is coming into the boat, they're about to sink, And they go to Jesus like, aren't you worried about care that we're going to perish, Peace be still. And all the storms is completely calm. Have you ever been in that situation where you've seen like a storm just like completely just going crazy and all of a sudden calm? But the story I told you about where we were in Oklahoma, we go through it, and it's just completely calm. That is the weirdest feeling to feel that. It's like something, this is something to see. This is really something to see. Okay? And so, Jesus was in this storm. He knew what to do. He got up and said, Peace be still. Okay, now, can you or I do that? Sure, we can say peace be still. Will it do anything? No. Because we're not God. Jesus is God incarnate. So we know that this is not only shows his deity, but there's actually something else to this story. Okay, there's another element to this story. Okay? Because I'm sure that this is great news and all that Jesus control the weather. He has complete control over everything on this earth and universe. He set the planets to go around the sun. He set the sun to go around in some big galaxy, and we all live in this big universe. And He made it all. We all know that. He made the earth, the moon, the stars. We know all that, right? But do you know that in this room right here, that Jesus is with us right now, and He cares about each one of you individually, and He cares about the storm that's going on in your life, okay? Not just the storm going on outside, okay? Every day we have friends and family that we care about, like the friends and family in Oklahoma that we care about. And when this storm is going on in our lives, and we have things that happen in our lives, Jesus is the peace in the center of that storm. Do you know that? He is the peace in the center of that storm. He is like that eye of a hurricane, where you go in there in the center, and it is completely calm. Somebody got a phone going or something, I don't know. But Jesus is that peace in the storm. And when He says peace be still in your life, He's going to make all those problems go away. And you think, okay, well, how is that possible? Because, in my life, I've got, all my family members have problems. They've got debt problems, and they've got, marriage problems, and they've got child problems, and they've got work problems, and they have problems with the city, and they got problems all over town. You know what? When you have Jesus in your life, He can fix every one of those problems. Do you believe that? He really can. It's like in our lives, Jesus knows that we all have not only those kind of problems, but He knows that we have sin problems too. Do you believe that? We all have sin problems. The Bible says, "For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God." All of us have sin problems. You know what? He's the peace in that storm too. Because every day we have to work on our own sins. We think, okay, well, I can't stop blank. I can't stop lying. I can't stop cheating. I can't stop doing whatever. I can't stop. You name it. Judging. I can't stop hating. I can't stop being mean. I can't stop. All those things in our lives, and we think that we can't stop them. You know what? When you ask Jesus into your life, you know what He's going to do? Your life is like a big onion. You know that? You're big, all this onions, and they all stink like onions. You ever cut an onion? Oh, makes you cry, doesn't it? Your life is going to make somebody cry, doesn't it? You know what? Jesus is going to start peeling off those onions. Okay? He's going to peel off all of those things one by one. He's going to peel off all of those sins one by one. He's going to show them to you. He's going to show them to you. Sometimes you don't even know you're sinning. Sometimes you don't even know you hurt somebody. Sometimes you say stuff that you don't even realize you hurt somebody. Okay? He's going to reveal it to you. He'll say, you have to do it. You can go that first direction after you. He's going to peel off another one. And you're not even going to realize, I did that. When you stand up, when you go to heaven, He's going to show you your whole life. It's going to be like a movie. You're going to see your whole life, not today. Do you want to see your life? I know.
It's just the good part.
That's the good parts. I think it's the good parts. It's like, you have all that storm in your whole life. It's going around you all the time. And sometimes you don't even realize that there's a storm going around you. Somebody has to tell you, you realize it's raining outside? Sometimes. I was watching TV. You're in that way? Like all of a sudden, somebody comes in, they're like covered in snow. I didn't know it was snowing outside. Nobody told me. Look outside and it's 4 foot deep. Whoa! Sometimes you don't realize that that's going on in your life too. In your life, you've got stuff in your life that's going on and on. And it needs to stop. Okay? Jesus is the peace in that storm. Okay? You know the people that aren't saved. Okay? What do? They wander aimlessly. And they walk right out that calm, into the storm. They don't even realize it. Because they don't know who is their ultimate guide. Jesus is your guide. He says, follow me, and I'll make you fishers for men. says, acknowledge me in all your ways, and I will direct your paths. He knows all your paths. He knows what's best for you. He knows which way you ought to go. He knows the hurricane's going to go this way. He wants to keep you in the center of it. He doesn't want to keep you in the storm. He wants to keep you in the eye where it's calm. If you're not following him, what's going to happen? You're going to wander off into the storm. You want to do that? Jesus is like your umbrella. He's going to keep that rain off of you. But if you don't follow him, you're just going to walk right out in the storm, and all the things are going to hit you in the back. Okay? In Ephesians it says, put on your whole armor of God. Okay? You know why he tells us to do that? Because you need it. Okay? Jesus, he's our great protector, right? But you know how he does it? He tells you how to protect you. Okay? If you're not reading the Bible, you're not reading the source, you're not living the righteous life. You don't have that breastplate of protection, right? You don't have the gospel of peace on your feet. Okay, how can you live a peaceful life? If you're not studying the Bible, if you're not living that Christian life, if you're not living the will of God, the life that God wants you to, you're like wandering off into the storm. And then the devil, when he's shooting those darts at you, you don't have your armor on, what's going to happen? You're going to like porcupine. Right? You're going to like porcupine. All the darts are going to be all over you. Okay? You've got to have that helmet of salvation on. Right? You have to be good to the one of truth. Okay? I tell you all these things, you got to live them. Okay? You know what a tornado, a hurricane, and a redneck have in common?
Say it again louder.
Y'all know what a tornado, a hurricane, and a redneck divorce have in common? They're all going to lose the trailer somewhere in there. That's just going to go. Let's turn to Matthew chapter 7. Matthew chapter 7. Let me read another verse. Matthew chapter 7. Matthew chapter 7. We're going to learn a little bit about maybe a song that y'all learned from childhood. Maybe All right, Matthew chapter 7, verse 24 says, therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, the winds blew, and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. When Jesus had finished these things, the crowds were amazed at his teaching because he was taught as one who had authority and not as their teachers of the law. Y'all remember that song from youth group or something? Y'all played that? Y'all remember that song? One man turned his house on the rock and the rain came down and the floods came up. The rain came down and the floods came up. The rain came down and the floods came up. And the house on the rock was burned. Yeah, and then one of the sandals crashed.
Yeah.
If you base your life on Jesus, that solid rock, and I appreciate you, we picked up that song, but you put your life on that solid rock, okay? You have these storms that come, and they're going to come. And maybe some of y'all already had a few storms in your life, and they came. Maybe some of you lived through it, some of you didn't. Okay? Sometimes those storms, they hurt the heart. Y'all had some storms that came through, and you felt that devastation. You ever have somebody say something about it, and it's just like hurts to the core, doesn't it? It hurts. Okay? You know, if you have Jesus as your solid rock, okay, and you have Him living in your life, you know, sometimes those little darks, they don't hurt as much because you've learned forgiveness. You've learned that you can be forgiving and you can forgive people that do stuff. Right? So you're equipped with new power that other people may not have. You know, some other people, when they hear those hard things that hurt, okay, that hurts them to the core. Some people, you know, they do terrible things. You know, they commit suicide. Some people do. I mean, some things that people say something to you. You know, there was you all know who Karen Carpenter is. Karen Carpenter, our pastor talked about it last Sunday. And it was interesting because somebody had given her a review and called her fat. Okay? And so then she went on a crazy diet and got anorexia and eventually died from it. Just from words. Somebody said, you know, they sticks and stones, break my bones, but the words that hurt me, you know, they do hurt. They do hurt. You know, but if you got Jesus, those words will never hurt you. You know, you know that you're not just a nobody anymore. You're an heir of a great life. You're an heir of the kingdom. You are now a child of the kingdom. And they can call you nothing. You're nothing. You believe that? No. I'm a child of the kingdom. You know, those it's like water off a duck's back, right? You ever heard water off a duck's back? You know, somehow ducks have those little bases of water just drop right off them, you know? When you get to heaven, you know what you're going to have? You're going to find that peace in the valley. You ever heard the song Peace in the Valley? I'm going to have peace in the valley someday. Because I have Jesus in my heart. And you know that storm? It's going to be over. When you get to heaven, there's going to be more storms. It's going to be wonderful. Heaven's going to be a wonderful place. There's not going to be any storms. You're not going to be there. No, I've not been there yet. I've not been there. I've read about it though. No, but I know I'm going there. You know, the Bible talks about heaven, so we know, you know, and we believe what the Bible says, and so we know it's going to be a wonderful place. You know, and you think about the best theme park in the whole wide world, you know, has nothing on heaven. Heaven's going to be, you know, the best place you can go. So, anyway, the other thing I thought that was neat was that Solid Rock song had my anchor holds within the veil. There's your anchor, you know, sometimes you think about the storms of life and these boats that have those anchors, you know, and they throw big old anchors, and they lock on to rocks and everything, but you know, our anchor is Jesus. In this storm of life, we have this crazy storm, and we're in this little tiny little rowboat, you know, and we're hoping that we're not going to go get swamped or anything. You know what? Jesus comes out to you. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome to know that if you have Jesus, it's peace without breathing. This is something special. Jesus is the gift God's given you. This is a special gift. You know, when you see all these storms around, you're going, I don't know, we've had a lot of storms, like we've had a lot of rain. I don't know if our lakes are not yet, probably not, but, you know, you see all these storms, and when you hear all these storms, you see the dog running on the couch, you see all those things, you know, you start seeing the ark going by. You know that no matter what happens, you have Jesus in your heart. It's going to be okay. Because we know that Jesus is going to save us. He's that rock that we stand on. He's that peace that has understanding. He's that peace in the midst of the storm. He's that time of the hurricane. You know what one hurricane said to the other? It says, I'm keeping my eye on you. Jesus is keeping his eye on you too. Jesus is keeping his eye. You are the apple of his eye, and he's watching you every single day. And they say, not a sparrow can fall without God knowing. So not a sparrow can fall without God knowing. But you are more valuable than any sparrow. You are more valuable than
A
treasure.
lot, that is.
Let's go, Lord, in prayer.